It's 7:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. There are reports the Beresfield Golf Course privatisation deal has collapsed, with nearby residents referring the lease tender process to the local government minister and the ICAC. Newcastle Council has defended the process for a private lease, saying there are unfounded allegations being posted on social media. Council granted the lease in July to a company called Golf North, but the deal is now off after negotiations failed to settle on the commercial terms of the lease. The state opposition has now called on the local government minister to intervene and overturn the lease amid concerns about the way the tender process was handled. Beresfield resident Fiona has told the ABC the deal needs to be thoroughly scrutinised.
I have actually written to the Premier. I've taken it to ICAC.
An armed robber has gone to a lot of trouble to steal a minuscule amount of cash from a Raymond Terrace service station overnight. The man walked into the Caltex outlet on Richardson Road at about 1:30 this morning armed with a hammer. Police say he threatened the console operator before escaping with about $60 to $80. Neighbouring residents to the old Pasminco smelter at Bullaroo are calling on the Environment Protection Authority to take action against lead-contaminated dust blowing from the site. The EPA remains the site's overall regulator. However, certain areas of the site, which have been remediated, have now been moved to Lake Macquarie Council's control. Jim Sullivan from the Bullaroo Action Group says responsibility for the site should not be placed on the council.
The council only represents the community. They are not the regulators of this site. The site was licensed by the Environment Protection Authority for all those years. The Department of Planning has got a major role to play also. So these are government authorities. The government needs to step in.
It looks like the Hunter could be overlooked for the lion's share of infrastructure funding after the state government announced it would be investing $20 billion across New South Wales if re-elected. The Hunter will be eligible for a slice of close to $6 billion, although it's not clear how much the region will actually receive. While local councils missed out entirely, close to $15 of the $20 billion has been earmarked for Sydney following the sale of the state's poles and wires. A Shoal Bay man has been the only boat operator to return a blood alcohol reading over the legal limit in a campaign by Roads and Maritime Services. Random safety inspections were also carried out under the campaign, with 69 penalty notices and 53 formal warnings being issued. RMS Maritime Director Angus Mitchell says the overall results, however, were quite pleasing.
RMS boating safety officers, in conjunction with New South Wales Police, conducted more than 1,200 boating safety checks, and that included 127 random breath tests. And I am pleased to say that whilst we aim for 100% compliance, we did come close this year with only one skipper being charged with operating a vessel with a low-range PCA.
There's more bad financial news for the Newcastle Jets, with one of their major sponsors reportedly struggling to pay its debts. The Herald is reporting Nathan Tinkler's Castle Quarry Products has been locked out of its own sand mine at Fullerton Cove, while a long-term lease to mine the land has also been terminated. The news comes as the A-League club continues to search for a new owner. Now with sport, Belinda De Los Heras.
The Newcastle Jets are hoping to make it eighth time lucky as they fight for their first win of the season against the Mariners in Sunday's F3 derby. The team will be looking to capitalise on last round's confidence-boosting display against the Wanderers in a desperate effort to recover from second last on the table. Jets midfielder Marcos Flores says they're more determined than ever.
We're performing okay in Wanderers. Now it's time to shine in our home and put a fight spirit up there if we want to win.
Up to 5 Maitland junior cricketers will take their place in the Central North Under-14 side to contest Newcastle's Kookaburra Cup in January. Jacob Page, Logan Smith, Will Ford, Callum Gabriel and Rex Greaves will have a chance to show what they're made of after being named in the 13-player squad yesterday. And the Maitland Blacks have appointed former club president Todd Bowd as their coach for next season in Newcastle and Hunter Rugby. That's sport. I'm Belinda De Los Heras.
To NURFM News Time, 26 to 8.